So, Drosma on pole position for the reverse grid race 3. Then it is Colin Ward in the Rothmans Williams colours. Sam Watley, car number 11, yellow and white, in 3rd place. Conor Marr in 4th place. Then it's Barry Kemp in 5th place. Scott Tuffy, he's in 6th place ahead of Dan Silver. David Hatton in 8th place. Edward Shelley in 9th place. Then Gregory Leader in 10th. Tim Ellis, the championship leader going into this event, he starts 11th as we get the field underway, and Drosma leads them off the grid. And Sam Watley looks like he's trying to make a move for 2nd place, but it's Ward tucked right up behind Drosma as they break down towards, Barry Kemp already in strife as he's facing backwards before they even get down to turn 1. But it looks like everybody's been able to safely navigate that. Hatton has stormed through and picked up plenty of places already. He's up in 4th place, but it's Drosma who still leads ahead of Ward, Watley, then Hatton, Tuffy up in place, as is Conor Marr, Edward Shelley in 7th, Van Gene up in 8th, Tim Ellis to 9th, and Stephen Williams is your top 10 as they emerge out of the first sector.
A really difficult start for Power. I'm thinking it was Dan Silver in front of him, who was just a bit slow off the marks to start with. He had to swerve round and then get caught up in all that mess as well. That actually threw him a little bit into the air. He's now charging through and looking to get back on the pace. But yeah, really difficult start for Power.
Hatton made his move down the hairpin but couldn't get it slowed down in time, trying to get 3rd place away from Sam Watley, and Watley's come straight back at him on the exit of the corner. He's got to be careful because Scott Tuffy is right up in there as well. So Hatton, attempt number 2 in trying to take 3rd place. It's actually more defending from Tuffy than he is attacking Watley. But there will be a slipstreaming opportunity down this front straight for the first time. Big queue of cars waiting to take that final spot on the podium as Drosma leads Ward ahead of them. So it's David Hatton tucking into the slipstream of Sam Watley. And we'll see breaking down the inside towards the chicane, and he picks up the place. And Edward Shelley making a move on Conor Marr as well behind them, but it's Hatton through into 3rd place. And I thought Watley was going to have a run at him into the final corner, but didn't quite have enough momentum.
Tim Ellis looking to make a move on Alex Van Gien, who I think just spins. I think
2 spinners down there.
Just span out. And Tim Ellis was just trying to get round him, a battle like we saw in the earlier races. But yeah, doing well to stay out of trouble there.
Now, one person I've not seen come up on my timing screen so far is Danny Henney. So maybe you can see where he's gone down in the order. We have got Dory, who's gotten away cleanly. He's in 14th place at the moment, ahead of Kyle Power. But yet to see Danny Henney come through on the timing. That could be disastrous after what has been an incredible night for him so far. And looks like we've got a few quick cars who have had some trouble, because Luca Harrison is down in 36th place. I see him right there, just behind Danny Henney, actually. Leader down there as well. So, blimey, some quick guys have been taken out of contention in the early stages of this race.
I said I didn't want drama. The past 2 races I've said I've wanted lots of drama. The one time I say I don't want it, it seems like we get the most.
Absolutely. So, Scott Tuffy in 4th place now. He has just made his move on Sam Watley. That'll be one for the YouTube clip. Watley coming straight back at him though, and practically pushing him through turn 11, and Edward Shelley waiting in the wings to try and pick up the pieces if these guys come together. So Tuffy with, he's not defending down into the chicane, and Edward Shelley says thank you very much and picks up Sam Watley. Right behind them, Tim Ellis is making progress, just got through into 7th place. Shelley, we looked like he was about to make it 2 moves in 2 corners as he was getting up the inside of Tuffy. Just braved it out around the outside of the final corner, but I would reckon that Shelley will be breaking up the inside towards turn 1 and reclaiming that place. But Watley is about to get squeezed in between the pair of them if he's not careful. Tuffy breaks very, very late into the first corner, goes a little bit wide, and that has given Shelley the opportunity to draw alongside, but he can't go around the outside of turn 2. He might try it into 3 though. Got to be careful for Watley. Right behind them, he's ready to pounce if Shelley makes a mistake. And Tim Ellis waiting in the wings as well. And just behind them, Conor Marr and Stephen Williams joining this battle as well. Williams has made a move on Marr. That's 8th place for him now. Colin Ward! Colin Ward from second place has dropped it. I just saw him on the edge of screen. He's binned it in the gravel down at turn 6. What a shame for him. All that means Alex Jonesma is out on his own at the front. He was being chased down by Ward, but now there's 3 seconds between him and Hatton. And now Hatton's mission is clear. Can he close down the gap and take a win today? It's going to be a tall order with 7 laps to go after this one.
Dory moving well, as we've seen already twice tonight. You know, he's so good at moving through the pack, isn't he? He's got his eyes set on Greenhow now, and he's making up the distance. He moved really well past Myers, and it will only be, you know, it won't be long at all. Maybe a matter of turns before he's right on the back of Greenhow.
Absolutely. So already into the top 10 and closing in on the guys who are squabbling tooth and nail over 4th place at the moment. Watley, Shelley and Ellis getting very close for comfort, breaking down into the chicane. Now, what has happened to Scott Tuffy here? Has he got a slowdown penalty for cutting the chicane because he's crawling down the front straight and is giving up 2 places here? So that could have been a crucial mistake there for Scott Tuffy. Williams and Ellis about to go side by side down into turn 1. It's Williams on the outside in the Aston Martin green and completely outdrags Ellis on the exit of the corner. Brilliant move. And that is 6th place that he has just picked up.
Spanner's moving well as well, coming through the field. I think he's now onto the back of Myers, the kind of position that we saw Dory in, you know, just a mere couple of minutes ago. He'll be looking to make that same move that Dory did just round Myers and carry on his offensive forward.
And they'll have Kyle Power for close company as well. Is a dream missed Apex panel, but on the track, I don't think Spanners will want to be seeing Kyle in his mirrors for too long. So, this battle for 3rd place, brilliant so far. Sam Watley is driving the race of his life so far, defending 3rd place for all it's worth, but now Edward Shelley is right on the back of him as they rise up the hill towards turn 10 on lap 4. And he was really trying to go down the inside, but Watley's so late on the brakes and was able to repel him, and Tuffy very nearly went into the back of Shelley's car. So we've got a massive queue of cars right down to Dory in 10th place now, and Ellis in the middle of this pack trying to get back past Stephen Williams. He's side by side with him down towards the chicane, and Ellis is around the outside of the chicane. Fantastic. He retakes 6th place from Stephen Williams.
Henny's still charging forward. It's not the position he wants to be in, but it's not stopping him. We know he can make up ground, and that's exactly what he will endeavour to do in these next couple of laps.
But Dory has caught the back of this queue, squabbling for 3rd, and he's already about to make a move on the inside of Mark Greenhow. And at the head of that queue, Edward Shelley has just moved into 3rd place, down the inside of Sam Watley into turn 1. And he's got to try and put his foot down now and draw clear while these guys keep squabbling, and he could well secure himself a spot on the podium.
Yeah, I think it must have all sort of concertinaed up, because I just saw, I think it was Myers going to the back of Dory. Dory's come off fine, carried on, but Myers has just had to turn around and readjust himself and get back onto track.
Dory's just dropped down into 12th place, so he's allowed a few cars through. He was lining up Greenhow in 8th place, so definitely some dramas down there. Watley still holding strong in 4th place, but he's got Scott Tuffy for close company now in that sort of brownish, goldish and black car. And Watley, who's the 2nd car in this queue, still pretty close to Edward Shelley actually, who's probably still being affected by the turbulent air and will probably get a slipstream down the straight. But with Tuffy right up behind him, I don't think it's going to be enough to keep Tuffy behind him. We'll soon find out. Tuffy looks towards the inside of the chicane, brakes much later than Watley, and well, maybe a little too deep. Can Watley come back at him on the exit? Certainly got the run on him. Is this straight long enough for him to get back up the inside towards the final corner? Certainly trying it, and Tuffy didn't leave him much space on the apex, but finally gets the move done, and that's 4th place for him. Now Tim Ellis, next man in the queue, pulls out towards the inside, and Stephen Williams right in there as well, trying to get through. So Ellis breaks down the inside into turn 1. Williams going to try and follow him through. Watley gets a little bit of a shove out there, and that does let Williams through very easily into the first corner. So that's Watley now down to 7th with Mark Greenhow for close company. Just to update you at the front of the field, we wondered if David Hatton can close down the gap. Well, at the moment, it's still increasing. It's now up to 4 seconds. It was 3, and Hatton on that last lap lost nearly 0.8 of a second over Dronsma. So it looks like only a mistake or some sort of technical drama can prevent Dronsma from taking his first win in the F3 Cup, and I believe would also be his first Missed Apex Motorsport win as well. Yes, he had one podium finish in the Formula Renault Challenge right at the end of the season in Interlagos, and well, we've certainly not seen this kind of pace from him for certainly a long time at least. Definitely benefiting from some coaching from Henny, it would seem, but he's putting it to good effect at the moment and is on course for his first victory. Now, this battle is now for 4th place between Tuffy, Ellis and Williams, as Shelley has pulled 1.3 seconds over these guys, holding on to that podium spot at the moment. We'll see if Ellis can try and get through. Oh, Tuffy just dipping a wheel onto the gravel there. That's probably cost him some momentum down the straight. We'll see if Ellis is close enough to challenge down into turn 1. I don't think so. Remember, Ellis's best performance at Spa came in the final race of the night. Oh, Tuffy has spun it down to turn 1 right in front of Ellis, and Ellis practically has to come to a stop so that he doesn't run into the stricken car, and that has cost him 1, 2, 3 places. He's down in 7th. Oh, go on, Ellen.
No, I was just going to say, I'm just watching Danny Henny. He has just been waiting for the right opportunity to pounce on Sexton. It's not been easy, but he's just made his way through on turn 1. You know, it's the best opportunity to get past, and he just needs to keep going forward, keep charging, and taking these opportunities to pounce on the drivers ahead, because they are few when they come around. He needs to make sure he's capitalising on them.
So depending on how far into the top 35 that he gets, although well, I wouldn't be surprised if he does get into the top 30 or even the top 20 by the end of the race, but this is not going to be a high scoring race for him, and he needed 3 kind of big point scoring races tonight after what was a very difficult start for him at Spa-Francorchamps. 19th in the championship going into this race. He more than doubled his points haul with victory in race 1, and a 2nd place from 20th on the grid in race 2 was brilliant, but really struggling now as we see Ellis in 7th place making his move on Mark Greenhow, trying to regain the ground that he lost earlier this lap at turn 1 when Tuffy spun right in front of him and had to grind to a halt so that he didn't run into the side of the car. He lost a few places because of it. He's regained one of them so far and now has to defend to try and make sure he keeps that place down into turn 1. This is lap 8 of 10 now, and Ellis safely down the inside and maintains that place. So now he's got to get on the back of Sam Watley, just in front of them in the yellow and white number 11 car.
Henny's up to 22nd now, so that top 20 does look feasible.
So he'll definitely still take some points, certainly not as many as he would have wanted. He has outscored Ellis in the first 2 races, but it looks like Ellis is going to claw something back in this race 3. And as I was saying earlier, the race 3 at Spa was Ellis's best performance. He was on the podium there. You know, he only scored 1 podium, but it was his consistent points finishes. And, you know, he has, again, been chipping away and making sure he gets the point. It's worth mentioning that we have added 3 drivers to our list of people to be on the podium, so that is 12 now, and with Dronsma and Shelley getting on there as well, that could bring it up to 14 by the end of the night, but we'll see how that pans out. Certainly been a competitive start to the iRacing F3 Cup. Ellis has found himself on the back of Watley very, very quickly and is going to be aiming to make a move. And there he goes down the inside towards the chicane. And that is 5th place for Ellis. But once again, Watley with the better run out of the corner. We saw him try and do this to Tuffy earlier in the race, and Ellis has got to go the long way around at the final corner. Should have some better drive out of the corner though, and could just pull clear. Yep. So he's able to cut across the nose of Watley's car and defend the inside by the time they get down into turn 1. And Greenhow very late on the brakes. Probably a little too deep as he drew alongside Watley, but couldn't really do anything with it by the time they got down to the apex. So with a lap and 3/4 to go for Ellis, it looks like Williams 2 seconds up the road is just a bit out of reach for him. A lap and a half to go of the championship races tonight, round 2 of the Missed Apex iRacing F3 Cup from the Nurburgring, and it's currently Dronsma who leads Hatton by 6.1 seconds ahead of Edward Shelley, another 5 seconds up the road, and Stephen Williams just ahead of the battle we've just been watching between Ellis and Watley. And we're certainly going to see a different picture in the championship standings. Ellis has had, again, some good points finishes, but nothing too ecstatic. Henny taking maximum points from the first race and a brilliant second place from 20th on the grid. But at the moment, Ellis is going to be taking some of those points back against Henny as he got himself in some strife down the order in lap 1. So we're waiting to see how far he can get himself up the field.
He is desperate to get by Myers at the minute. He is darting side to side. Henny really wants to get back up there. He's not got much time in reality to get past the 3 cars he needs to make it up to, make it up to where he started on the grid, which is disappointing. But he's really trying to get round Myers here, and it won't be long until he does.
Oh, Sam Watley from 6th place has just spun it down at turn 1, picked up one of the other cars. I think it was one of the back markers, but that's such a shame for him. He was driving an incredible race and he's dropped well outside the top 10 now. I think it was Anil Singh who just clipped his car, although it looks like he has escaped with any damage, although Doria's right on the back of him now as we're on the final lap. And Kyle, we're seeing here in 13th place, top 10 out of reach for him. He had a great race 1, but not going to be seeing him scoring too highly. That's going to be, well, he would have wanted more, second in the championship at the moment. But Alex Dronsma here is about to throw his name into the ring. And he's been so fast all week, and he has finally seen his potential reached. Has absolutely dominated the field in this race. 7.5 seconds clear of our inaugural Formula Renault Challenge champion, David Hatton, around the final corner, and Alex Dronsma is an iRacing F3 Cup race winner. What a display. Hatton comes over the line in 2nd place, and Edward Shelley not far behind him in 3rd. Then it is going to be Stephen Williams close behind them. Ellis not too far behind, and those are crucial points in his bid to retain the championship lead. Anil Singh just fending off Dory for 6th place on that final lap there. Mark Greenhow, Ishmael Basso, another competitive result for him in 9th. And Conor Meyer, that's your top 10. And Spanners so close to the top 10, 3/10 away in 11th place.
Spanner's just missing out. I was watching him as he was coming through these final turns, and he was looking for any opportunity he could have, but sadly just not coming off.
Well, that draws a close to the championship action tonight. And it has been an incredible ride, and we've certainly seen some thrills and some spills. Ellen, closing thoughts on the second round of the championship?
Yeah, it's been, as I've always said, as I've said throughout, it's been an interesting one. There has been, especially in that last race, you think them, it's tough to see Henny go so much further back than we would have wanted him, getting caught up in those early incidents when we really wanted him up there. I think it would have been a different picture if he was up battling with Dory. But again, hopefully it might be something we see later on in the series.
Oh, I have absolutely no doubt that Henny will be back fighting at the front of the field for the third round. He did get over the line in 21st place, so has bagged some points. Not as many as he would have wanted, though. Right, we are about to go for another break, but we are going to be right back for the Fun Cup race.